wastegate. The wastegate is employed to control boost pressure via bypassing a controlled amount of exhaust gas from interacting with the turbine wheel. It consists of nothing more than a disc that closes against a passageway that redirects a portion of exhaust flow. What's going on, everybody? My name is Andy. Welcome to the channel. All right, we have more photos of the truck with the body off. Now, a couple of these photos may be the same ones I showed yesterday. Again, I'd like to thank the same subscriber for sending me these photos, these links. He's finding these and sending them to me, and I greatly appreciate it. But a few of these may be the same, but we have a lot more photos and some in-depth look of the engine out of the truck. Or is the truck out of the engine? Either way, we got some photos. So from the first photo here, it's kind of the same one as yesterday, where they have the whole entire basic truck, except for the bed, off the frame. The cab's off the frame, everything's off the frame. Again, it would freak me out. I do want to say that somebody left a comment in the other video yesterday that they work for Toyota, and they said actually that they assemble this way at the factory, and they paint it, and then they drop the cab down on the truck. I would like to see that, and I'm not disputing that, but I'd like to see it. I see how they get paint back in the little corners and stuff where you can't see primers, like when the doors open back inside. I'm sure they got robots or people there that spray back in there, but I would just like to see that. I work at a facility that has robots for paint and stuff like that, so I would kind of like to see that myself and see how Toyota actually does it. I think that'd be pretty interesting, but they said that they actually assemble these way and then drop it down. I still have concerns about someone that doesn't do this every day doing this and it causing squeaks or something like that, or maybe not getting lines hooked back up in the engine properly, or leaving a vapor line loose and it causing some kind of malfunction. I don't know. I would just like to see how they do that. So if we go to the second picture, it's actually a picture. It kind of looks like the first picture, but zoom back a little bit, you can see a little bit more of the truck. You can definitely see this is a brand new truck. The frame looks spotless. And then you can see this, what looks to be a small little V6 power plant just sitting there attached to the transmission. So if we go to the next picture, you have a side shot here. There's a photo here in a minute, we'll get to it here in a minute, that shows the back of what looks like is a turbo, but I can't figure out where the turbo's at. It looks like a turbine of the turbo. I'm not sure if that's where the wastegate bolts up or not, but it looks like it's from this side. But from this photo, I cannot figure out where the photo we'll see here in a minute is taken from, because it looks like it's from the opposite side of the engine in some of these photos, but when you're looking at that photo, it looks like it's the driver's side of the truck. I don't know, but you can see here, this engine doesn't look huge to me. Maybe it's bigger, like maybe it looks bigger in person, but from just looking at it right here, it looks like a pretty small little power plant. You can see in the next photo here that they have all these hoses unplugged. You can see towards the back of the truck, all the hoses at the bottom and all the coolant hoses and everything. It's just all unplugged. That would freak me out to see my truck sitting here like this. I ain't even gonna lie, it would just freak me out thinking that they unhooked all this stuff and now they've got to make sure they get it all hooked back up. I'm sure they can do it, not doubting they can't do it. I'm just saying, if my truck had 327 miles on it and it was sitting here like this, I would be nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I mean, I would be nervous. Let me know in the comment section if you'd be nervous. So you go to the next picture. It's the other side shot of the engine here. You can see the side of the transmission, stuff like that. Sorry, this is the side there a minute ago. Was that right? Okay, that was the photo. I thought it was kind of the same photo. It's not the same photo, but it looks like the same photo. This is the side where the next photo looks like it's taken from. Actually, two photos from now looks like it's taken from. Again, you can see things unhooked, stuff like that. Just would freak me out. Now, in this photo, you can see the back of the engine. Now, if you look at the right-hand side, it looks like something's blurred out. And I don't know if they've got that blurred out for a reason. I don't know if that's where the wastegate is that they're working on. It kind of looks like a turbo behind it. If I zoom in, it looks like a small turbo behind it. But I can't really tell. I thought it was a plate over it when I first looked at it. But looking at it here, it almost looks blurred out. And maybe that's just the way the camera looks and it is actually a plate. I can't tell. But there again, this just doesn't look great and you have all these technicians working around it. One guy's on his phone in the background. Maybe he's Googling how to put this back together. I don't know. He's like, oh crap, where does this go? And you get on the phone to Google it like we all do, and guess what? It's not on there because this is a brand new truck. I'm just kidding. He's probably texting his wife. I don't know. Maybe he's ordering lunch, but you can see them all standing around it right here. One guy on the right hand side, he's running for the hills. He's like, I ain't touching this thing, boys. Now, the next photo is the one I was talking about earlier. You can see right here, it looks like a turbine back in there. So it looks like that would be a turbo. If it is, that is I don't think this is a turbo, but I swear it looks like the inside of one. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is where the wastegate actually sits, and that's why they've got this picture. This looks like the same picture that was blurred out, but if you remember the blurred out picture, it was on the right side or passenger side of the engine. This appears like it's on the left hand side because you can see the transmission right here beside it, which is on the right hand side. But if I go back to the other photo, I can't find that anywhere. It looks like this photo has been reversed, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's flipped. But maybe this is the part they're replacing, and it would make sense if it is because it's on the very back of the engine. You've got the body sitting on it, which this thing's going to be sitting right up against the firewall. So it would make sense that if this is what they're replacing or what they're working on, that it would be easier to take the body off the truck and get to this than maybe to drop the engine. I myself, if this was my truck, would feel better if they were actually dropping the engine out the bottom, the cradle and everything out the bottom. But maybe they just designed it where it was easier to take the body off. Like I said yesterday, I don't know. But I would feel better if it's mine if they just dropped the engine out of it. You still got to unhook everything. I just don't think you'd have as many squeaks once it's all. Squeaking would drive me nuts in a brand new truck. I know I keep harping about that, but that just keeps coming back to my mind that would drive me crazy, and I feel like you would have less noises if they dropped the engine than if they took the body off. I don't know. But maybe this is what they're working on, and if so, it makes sense on why they're taking the body off the truck. If we go to the last photo here, you can see the front of the engine. They've got, everything taken off. I'm sure maybe the radiator and everything stayed in the truck and when they picked it up, the body. But you can see the radiator condenser and everything has been taken off the front of this. And you can see the whole front of the engine, all the pulleys and the idlers and the belt and everything like that. But I really believe that last photo was what they was working on. I may be totally wrong, but I believe that's what it was. Now, I want to read you some comments from the post this was on. So the number one post up here at the top says, not looking good. Agree 100% with that. Not looking good. It makes me wonder if this truck's having a problem, and we've heard of 3 or 4 other trucks having a problem, or rumored 3 or 4 other trucks having a problem. Is this going to wind up being a problem? A lot of people saying this will rear its ugly head early on in life. I don't know. I don't know enough about wastegates and how they function and stuff like that to say, hey, this is going to happen before 500 miles, this is going to happen before 1,500 miles, this is going to happen before 30,000 miles. I don't know when these things will fail. Hopefully, it's a very limited number and Toyota gets it all fixed and takes care of it. I just don't know. And the second person says, will this be a wide-scale recall? I asked that same question in yesterday's video. And do they know if it's just a bad batch? I said the same thing in yesterday's video. It could just be a bad batch. And this guy said, it doesn't really matter. At some point down the road, a turbo component will fail and need replacing. Can you imagine paying out of warranty costs to do this amount of work? Absolutely catastrophic engineering miss by Toyota. And if a company made bad parts and sent them to them, and they looked good, Toyota wouldn't know. I can't blame all this on Toyota that we hear all the facts. But this guy just reiterates what I've been saying the whole time. Toyota, not Toyotas, but turbo engines, parts will fail. It will. They will. Turbos do not last forever. So, especially in gasoline engines. So, eventually down the road, you're going to have to, have something replaced. Read a few more of these, and then we'll just go ahead and end the video. This is the one that said, I work at the plant in body and weld. The cab is completely assembled, structured before it leaves the body weld for the paint shop. The frame along with the transmission engine and other are all assembled before mating with the cab. The one main concern I would guess would be all the electrical and mechanical connections between the cab and the frame unit. Hope that helps some, but I get your concern. I would be too. And I appreciate this comment. I really, really do. I appreciate anybody that works at Toyota coming forward and letting us know some of our concerns and kind of making some of these people feel a little bit easier about their problems. And I would love to see that process. I would love to see it. I would like to go there and just watch these trucks being built. I don't know if Toyota would allow that, but I would be game for it. I would like to go in there and see how this works. I've been in manufacturing for 24 years. I know a little bit about it, and I would just like to go see their processes and how all this works. This guy says the chief engineer said they aren't competing with the big three. We can tell. You don't listen to the customers like you said you did, like you said you did either, Toyota. I'm considering for the first time in 17 years a non-Toyota truck, and I have seen this comment a lot in my videos. You know, I've never been a fan of this truck right off the bat, and then they showed some of them lifted, and I liked it, but then the more I looked at it, when I seen real ones, I didn't like it, and I've always been critical of this truck from that point on. And I've seen a lot of people say on their they're either keeping their trucks like I am, or on their next truck it won't be a Toyota. And that's sad because I love Toyota. I think they make a reliable truck, and it's just sad to see people walking away from the brand that we all know and love and expect to run 500,000 miles, 350 to 500,000 miles with very little issues. Again, I wanted to share these photos with you. I just wanted you to see what this engine looks like out and some of the stuff they're working on, and share some of the comments. These people having some of the same concerns I am. I also wanted to give you the comments from the guy that works at the Toyota assembly plant and let us know that that's actually how they do this, so maybe it's not as big a concern as we thought it was. And if you have this problem, again, be very, very careful. Again, from someone that's had a vehicle go into limp mode on the interstate, it can be very dangerous, and I want you all to stay safe. I keep you all informed on stuff like this and recalls because I want you all to be in the know, and I want you all to be safe about it and arrive home to your family safe every night. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys and gals. We'll see you next time.